It's Injustice time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the Storm Collectibles Injustice Gods Among Us Darkseid figure. This guy is big and bulky, and that's like the Storm Collectibles classic, the specialty. They don't do small dinky figures. We barely get any female figures in general, but you get them big guys, which is pretty cool. The problem with the Injustice line, and why I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to commit to it, is we haven't seen any Batmans or Supermans yet. Darkseid looks cool. I have Doomsday on the way, and let's see about the rest. So for now, let's have a look at Darkseid. Oh my god. Every now and then, there's a figure, I'm taking it out of the box, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm in love with this. Look at the size, the sheer size of this thing is already the first thing that blew my freaking mind because he has such a presence. This is Darkseid. He should be huge, and he is huge. He towers over like 90% of my collection. So, how big is he really? He stands at about 25 centimeters to the top of his head, which means it's pretty much 10 inches tall. Just for comparison, I had a little bit of fun. I took him on a little bit of a trip. I took him up to all of the other Storm Collectibles from the Mortal Kombat line. Then you got all the Storm Collectibles from the Street Fighter line. And just like, I don't even know, a water bottle. Here's a water bottle. Here's the Technodrome. And here's Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Bruh, that's how big this thing is. But if you're not sold on the size, what else does this guy have? Well, let's have a look at the face sculpt. He looks menacing. You got all the motor detail in the head, and it looks fantastic. He has the shiny eyes. Got a nice paint that really reflecting, the light reflecting off of it. So it does look even more menacing. You got a bunch of just dry brushing over it that makes it look like metal, all the blue parts, which you have in all the hard plastic parts. Unfortunately, it kind of falls apart. Well, not really falls apart. It's missing on all the soft plastic. Because as you know, if you know Storm Collectibles, the entire torso over here is soft plastic. All of this. As such, they didn't really bring out the same coloring effect that you have on the rest of the figure. Because like, especially in the game, this all looks like metal. It looks shiny and reflecting. Especially the Omega symbol in the front looks like gold, and it is a kind of like, it doesn't hit the spot right, but that's just not really a complaint. That's just something a little bit nitpicky because it just kind of stands out from the rest of the figure. But it's still good. Like the paint on here and everything, it looks nice. There is not really an issue with it at all. All the detail in the armor is there, and as such, it is something to behold, something to look at, and just really, really good. You got the muscle work, which is beautifully sculpted, has all the detail in there. Unfortunately, no shading, no dirt effects on it, but that's all right. Then you got some more. Again, they actually have this one, which is rubbery. They did do some dry brush on there with the gray, so I don't know why they didn't do it on the chest area, but I don't know. Anyway, it looks good over here also. Looks a little bit worn, and it looks beautiful on the knee pads and the grays, like the boots or whatever. There's tons of it on there, and it really accentuates on the edges. Just the effect that you get out of it compared to when not putting it on, it really speaks a lot. Also, crotch piece is soft plastic, but yeah, legs, we're going back to the hard plastic overall, and the shoes, it's just, yeah, awesome stuff. He has nice flat feet, there's nothing under there, so stability also is no issue for Darkseid. Now, what is always a point of concern for big guys is the articulation. Well, in this situation, the head is kind of wonky. Now, the head itself doesn't really have that much articulation. Just some wiggle room, but you can pull it out. As such, it does look wonky, but it goes forward very nicely. It does tilt side to side, and it does go to the back and all the way around. Well, it does go all the way around if you tuck it back in. It still does that. but you really have to play around with the neck, which is kind of hard to move. It's like shifting a car. So it does go forward a lot. And you get this noise. You really have to fight all these layers of plastic down here. That's why it's so crazy. It does go to the back, and it does tilt to the side, and the other one just quite a bit. You can break his neck, actually. It looks pretty crazy. But yeah, overall that's pretty good, but it is stiff and hard to move around. Then you got big hinge in the shoulder, which is connected via ball pack to the chest area. As you can tell, don't have a problem. You can rotate this around. I think it's like a butterfly joint in there, or is it just a ball pack? Either way, it looks great. It's covered up nicely. Have some more detail in these pieces, which are just covering up the articulation. And it does have some very, very good range. You really have to push on it though a little bit. To get the plastic out of the way, you got the big bicep swivel, double hinge elbow, and a fist that's on another ball hinge, so you can rotate that around and back, forward, articulation. Chest area is a mystery to me, honestly. Now, honestly, I can't tell what it is. There's something I can move around, but because of all the soft plastic, it's kind of just, I don't know what it is. And it's really hard to fight, again, all these layers of plastic covering it. But there is something. That's about it. There is something that gives you a little bit of motion. Not that much, to be honest, though. Then you got the hips, which move forward quite a bit. Move also to the back. Maybe we can look at what's going on over there. No, there's just this belly. I think there's like really hollow over here. There's like not really that much covering it up. But anyway, as you can tell, that's crazy. Move side to side and also rotates all the way around. For your legs, moves up quite nicely. They are a bit wobbly, but it still holds the pose. And also, to be fair, you can put them in some crazy pose if you want to, also swivels. You can put them in some crazy pose if you want to, double hinge knees, but it's Darkseid. He doesn't even move around in the game as much, and it's a fighting game. Pivot, side to side, it's good enough, I'd say, forward, back, and has a toe hinge. Usually with big guys, you don't get a lot of accessories. Storm Collectibles, so screw that, we invented making big guys. Well, kind of at this point. So we're gonna also give you a ton of stuff to play around with. Well, I really don't have to fiddle around with box for this one because everything is quite big. Starting off with the faces, you got the yelling face and the gritting teeth face. Look at those guys. Boy, oh boy. And now my camera brightens up. Like, the problem with my camera is, like, I don't really know. It auto-corrects the brightness, which makes it just look darker. Anyway. Unless, I guess, I hold it in my hands. Then you have the burning eyes. Oh my god. Which you can also take out. And then you have hollowed eyes. Well, let me show you how that looks. Just for the record. Looks pretty gruesome. But that's actually a feature because you can put in the Omega beams, which I don't know if I'm in the correct order right now. I can't seem to put this in, so I gotta do it off the camera because this is not working out. But anyway, you have the beams. That looks amazing. Just see-through plastic. You get everything you need. Then you got chomp hands, just to get in and just slap somebody in the face. And what you got over here is like the grabby hands, the booby grab hands, grab somebody by the head, squish them, and just kind of open palm hands. And obviously it also has the fist hands already on the figure. Now, actually important to note, as you do connect the Omega beams, those are just packed in on these parts, which you slide into the eye holes. So you can rotate them around and you can switch them around whichever way you like. However, it's not the tightest connection, just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Let me, can I zoom out a little bit? Well, I'm gonna get them into pose. And this is pretty much what you end up with. I don't know, it looks kind of wonky. But oh my god, just the fact that you have this brings me to the final thoughts. And just if you've been watching this review, been listening to me, I love this figure. It comes at a price, but the size, the accessories, the posability, it's perfect. Even if you don't care about Injustice. This figure is amazing. This is pretty much probably the best Darkseid out there. I'm saying probably because I don't own any other Darkseids, but just the quality of this one, I think it's hard to top, and just really, I don't have a single complaint about this guy other than maybe the chest area could look a little bit more armory, could use the same wash that some of the other blue armor parts have, but that's nitpicking, that's not even complaints, and as such, 100% recommended at this point. Like, I can't even wait for Doomsday, which I have on the way, and I might go in deeper with the Injustice line, because if we get more figures like this, I'm all for it. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Darkseid wants. Annihilation of Superman and the human race, or whatever. Just that's the, well, yeah, that's a bit of a problem.